open the continued public hearing for MBTA community bylaw
Okay.
amendment.
Motion made by Mr. Woodham, seconded by Mr. Orban on the motion to continue the public hearing. Mr. Boissy.
Aye.
Mr. English.
Aye.
Mr. Orban.
Aye.
Mr. Schlesinger.
Aye.
Mr. Woodall.
Aye.
Mr. Woodhams.
Aye.
Chairman votes aye. It's unanimous. The meeting is now open. Rachel, I'm going to turn this over to you. You have done some good work in the last couple of weeks to make the changes that we requested at our last meeting. Would you care? Do you want to take us through just the changes, or I'll give you the floor. You tell us what you want to tell us about your document. How's that?
Okay, yes, I will. Let me just navigate there. Well, I am looking at you. I am paying attention.
Okay.
Two things at once. So at the last meeting, you all directed me to make the changes, putting the Ledgeview site, including the senior living, or the memory care and the nursing home, as well as the apartment building.
Mm-hmm.
And then just updating the bylaw to reflect those areas. I'll just go to my email. That's probably going to be easier for what I sent to you all. And so that was done. So all that was changed was, as in previous, the board had shown a desire to just use the underlying zoning of the sizes. I will say I did increase the front, the setbacks on them, because the reason I did that is because both of them are surrounding residential, and so that's already what the buffer zone is going to be on them anyway. So there's just reduces confusion, because that's a separate part of your bylaw on that. So might as well just have one place for all of them.
Okay.
Oh, come on, here we go. Here we go.
Maybe.
And so what I sent you, it's up on the website. What I changed is in red, underlined. Let me share the screen. Go. Scrolling. If anybody has any other questions about any other part of the bylaw, especially for those that are new, please let me know. Oh, of course not. This isn't the one. I went too fast. I went too fast, guys. Sorry.
Maybe
Okay,
Norm's
so-
kids are working the internet at your place.
Yeah. And so because this sub-district 2 is already developed, we can go a little bit higher on the density.
Yep.
And then reduce the density on the Elysium Street one. And then that still is an average of 15 units per acre, which is what needs to happen. It needs to be 50 acres, an average of 15 units per acre. I put all these numbers into the spreadsheet that the state gives you, the compliance model, and it didn't yell at me. So I'm figuring this is kosher until the state actually reviews it. But that was kind of the test on that one. So that may make this one a little bit more palatable. Again, I mean, 10 units per acre is a little bit less than the 15 units. To sort of put it in context, the downtown project is at about an 8 units per acre density.
Okay, so very good. So the new site, the Ledgeview site, is about 20 acres. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. So we could end up with as many as 400 units in that sub-district. At the moment, there are 220, and of course, the district goes to the right to another site.
Correct.
Okay. So I mean, the most you'd ever see, and it would involve some serious construction, is 180 additional units at that site.
Yes.
Okay, very good. And the Elysium Street site is roughly 30 acres. The most you'll ever see there is 300.
Yes.
Okay. All right, very good. And we're gonna, there'll be, if we have to bring this to town meeting, there'll be maps attached to it as well. You wanted us to approve the language first, I think, right?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Are there any other changes that you want to highlight here, Rachel? I printed it in
Uh,
black and white, so feel free to go ahead.
Yeah, no problem. It was these numbers
Yep,
in that, and then as just where it referenced East Street in the document, I just changed it to be Ledgeview Way,
okay,
which is just at the beginning.
yep, okay,
So those were really the only two changes that were made.
Okay.
So not a lot of heavy lifting. But
Okay.
thank you. I did work tirelessly on it.
No,
It's
thank
the-
you very much. We
All
know
of the
you-
15 minutes it took me, but
no,
thank
you've
you. I
worked on
appreciate
it a
that.
lot, though. No, that's,
No, thank you. I appreciate that.
all right, so from the board now, if you've had time, if you need more time to review, of course, we can continue this hearing. Again, I'd like to close the hearing tonight if possible, but not until everyone's comfortable doing so. So let's go around the horn here. Let's see. How about Mr. Schlesinger? We'll start with you in the alphabet. Do you have any questions for Ms. Benson about the draft revision?
No, Rachel, thank you so much. Appreciate everything that you do for the town and for us. So thank you so much. Tom, I would love to hear just your thought, to be honest with you, on the revision.
Well, we'll come to me at the end. Then we'll go around. Yeah, I appreciate that, Justin. If you're all set, we'll move now to Mr.
Yeah, no, I have no specific questions. I just would like to, hear your thoughts, but no, nothing from me. I think it looks good, so.
Okay. All right, Mr. Woodall, questions, comments, observations?
No, I have no comments right now.
Okay. By the way, Justin and Joe, Joe, I'll start with you. Do you feel comfortable enough to vote on eventually to vote on this document? I know you've kind of
Yeah, I read it when Rachel sent it last week, and then I reread it today.
Okay, Justin, you feel comfortable enough? I know you know about the project. You know about this whole
Yes,
initiative.
yes.
Okay.
I've read it many times. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Mr. Woodhams, again, I'll identify you as the sole surviving member of our subcommittee that worked for 8 or 9 months on this. How do you feel about this? Do you have any observations?
No, I'm real comfortable with it, and kudos to Rachel for the changing the density. I think it makes Elysium Street even more palatable, lowering that density down to 10, which, as you pointed out, is not much higher than what we're already looking to do in our downtown area. So,
Agreed.
and I already had no problem with the previous bylaw as it was written. It was just changing the location. So no, I'm good with this. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Bouassi, on to you.
Just want to make sure I understand, Rachel. So you just thought, since Ledgeview is already a bit denser, we could up the density here with minimal kind of impact, so we could get the benefit of lowering the density on Elysium Street.
Correct. And
okay.
as I mentioned at the last public hearing, we now have the benefit of 130 communities have adopted, and so we can kind of see what they have done. And this is similar to what other communities have done.
Okay, great. And then, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No.
Okay. And then, just a couple comments. Let's see. I mentioned this a few times with the previous board, but I still continue to think it makes sense to reduce the minimum lot area for Elysium Street, because right now, the way it is, it's all or nothing. So it's one lot, if I understand correctly. If it happens, it's a 300 unit project, right? If we lower the minimum lot area, something smaller than that could happen. Now, maybe some people think if we keep it at the highest, it reduces the chance of it happening, if that's what you want. That's fine, but I'm just pointing out there might be advantages to lowering that to something else. That was one comment. And I'll just say, second comment, I mean, I understand everyone wants to just move on from this, which I completely understand. But I would still be open to potentially swapping Elysium for like Eagle Brook. Since I think there's some advantages similar to the swap to Ledgeview Way, but people just don't want to deal with that. I get it. So those are my two comments. Otherwise, I like the change Rachel made with the density in terms of it's probably something the town would be more favorable to because it's going to reduce the impact on Elysium Street, I think. So those are my comments.
All right, so Rachel, do you want to comment on the minimum, the minimum lot area at Elysium Street is about 2 acres, right?
Well, so I wanted to ask a clarifying question if I can. Alfred, do you mean to just reduce the 30 acres to be like a 20 acres and then pick another site or,
No, I meant so the minimum lot area is 87,000 square feet, the entire site. So the
No.
only, no?
no, that's 2 acres, 87, whatever that number
that's only
is 2
2
acres. Cause they're gonna use the whole site is 30 acres, this way they can develop 2 acres at a time, but the zone itself has to be 5 acres. There has to be 25 that has to be contiguous, and then the smallest you can have is 5 acres. You have to have a 25 acre one at least, and then you have to have
Oh.
5 acres if that's what you're gonna do.
I guess I don't have a good in my head conversion of square feet to acres. I thought that was
I
the
used to,
entire
I used to,
acreage.
yeah, I used to do land surveying, so
Okay,
I know a lot of them, yeah.
Okay, so if it wasn't so 30 acres and square feet is a lot more than 87,000.
Yeah,
Well,
40,
15 times that.
43,560, 43,560
Okay.
is an acre.
Got it. Okay, so never mind about that comment. I was just totally wrong there. Forget I said that. But the other one about swapping to Eagle Brook, I still stand by it. That could make sense, but I'm happy to go forward with this as it is as well.
All right, sir, thank you. Mr. English, you're up.
I think the move down to the new location is smart. I think Rachel did a good job of running it through the confuser to make sure that it was compliant. So there's got to be some goofy name for the authenticator. And I'm good with it. I think that as we move forward, irrespective of where these sites are, if the town is unsuccessful going forward in terms of slipping this MBTA punch, we are going to be really, really saddled with selling this to the town and to the citizenry. So, that last meeting, it was a lynch mob that came out and they were angry, carrying torches, and they didn't want any part of it. And it just was overwhelming. So I think if we want this to go through, we're going to have to be very, very thoughtful, careful, and make sure all the facts are delivered of consequences if we go with another no vote. So those are my only comments. Thank you.
All right, Mr. English, thank you. Mr. Orban.
I don't really have anything much more to add that's already been said. I'm good with the sites. I don't really want to make any further changes with those. And I think, I liked it the way it was before. I'm happy with the way it's written right now. I think the changes are appropriate and for the best. So that's what I have. And that's it for me tonight.
Well, thank you, Norman. I agree with you. I liked the bylaw and the sites that we had in December. I think East Street was a good site too, in light of some additional information. However, Ledgeview, I think gets the edge view on this one over East Street. And so I kind of, it took me a while to warm up to Mr. Woodham's idea, but I think he's right. And so I think the 2 sites that we have here are fine. I would, as to whether, I think in answer to Rob's question, our job is to be ready to bring something to town meeting, Rob. If the town wants to do it, they can. If they don't, they don't. You know, I mean, we all have our own opinions on this and we all can vote yes or no or individually when it comes up at town meeting. But I think in order to sort of fulfill our function, our proper function as a planning board, we have to bring into town meeting when asked, which evidently is not going to be before July 14th, right, Rachel? We've only got 5 weeks until then. There's no talk of calling a town meeting before July 14th.
I've not heard of anything.
I haven't either. So, well, so we are going to talk about timing a little bit, but if board members are all set, I would like to open this up to the public. If there's anybody from the public who would like to speak on this, please use that little hand raising thing. Okay, I see one already. Is it what, Leo Eminent, since you raised your hand first, we're gonna give you the floor first.
Thank you, Mr. Maloney. I was at the Selectmen's meeting last night, and in the public comment, I asked them about the possibility of the town meeting in July, and they said they would take it under advisement and they would put it on the agenda for the 17th of June. Your next meeting will be the 18th of June. So therefore, I strongly urge you to close this public hearing tonight and approve this bylaw. That gives the select board an actual bylaw to decide whether or not to put it before a town meeting in early July. If you do not approve it tonight, we have the likelihood of the select board saying, well, since the planning board has not done their work, they can't do theirs. So please, as Mr. Maloney has indicated, the job of the planning board is to provide a bylaw and then let the town decide. Let's not obstruct that process. Thank you very much for your work. This is a good finished product. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Eminent. Appreciate your comments. I see Jay Brooks. Mr. Brooks, your hand is up, sir, from 20 Wisteria, correct?
Yes, correct. So John Brooks, 20 Wisteria Way. I just want to say thanks, one, for everybody reconsidering what you had proposed earlier. I like the fact that Ledgeview is there. I like the fact that you volunteered the reduction for the Elysium property. But consistent with what Mr. Boissy said, I think in order for this to be, I guess, more palatable to the town, I'm still a proponent of reconsidering Eaglebrook, also a proponent of reconsidering the mall, the Armitage properties. And if you're interested, if you haven't seen it, I think it's the August 27th subcommittee meeting that kind of selected those. So no, there's a lot of stuff out there, but one, thanks. And two, just another comment to reconsider Elysium, if you could. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Is there anyone else from the public who would care to speak? All right, seeing none, then we'll entertain a motion. Again, this is up to the board now. I'm thinking we can now close this public hearing and either take action tonight or defer. But the first thing is to close or not close the public hearing. What is the pleasure of this board?
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Woodhams.
I'd like to make a motion to close the public hearing for the MBTA zoning bylaw changes. Not sure if I worded that properly, but
I think you did, you know.
Seconded.
Motion,
Good enough.
motion to close the public hearing made by Mr. Woodham, seconded by Mr. Orban. Is there, let's see, well, on a motion to close the hearing, we go straight to a vote on this. So this is just to close the public hearing now. We have not taken any action on the bylaw per se. Mr. Boissy.
Aye.
Mr. English.
Aye.
Mr. Orban.
Aye.
Mr. Schlesinger.
Aye.
Mr. Woodall.
Aye.
Mr. Woodhams.
aye.
Chairman votes aye, it's unanimous. The hearing is closed. Now, what is the pleasure of this board vis-a-vis our revised bylaw? Now, but before we do that, Rachel, I know you and I talked a little bit about timing here, right? And so if we make, well, you tell me about the 6-month business. You go ahead with it.
Per state law, chapter 40A, section 5, sort of dictates zoning amendments. And within that, it says that your recommendation that you'll have after this, that goes to town meeting, is good for 6 months after the close of the public hearing. So you'll have 6 months that it's good for, and you won't have to have another public hearing. If it's 7 or 8 months, then you'll have to have another public hearing. And, you know, but that should be fine because unless anything changes and you want to consider a property or location. You can just open, reapprove, and then go on your merry way. But if that does happen, I'll still need to know. We should probably be able to get in that public hearing timeframe within that whenever there's a special town meeting or something like that. So we should be okay. I'll worry about the timelines.
Okay, well, the thing is that the town's bylaws require a fall special town meeting in October or November. So presumably, if the select board chooses to bypass the July 4th deadline, they can, if they wish, put an article on the warrant before the 6 months have expired. Because the 6 months, if we vote tonight, the 6 months expire on or around December 4th. And we are supposed to have our fall town meeting in October, November. So we would be covered if that is what we choose to do. All right. Very good. So does everyone understand the timing here on this? If we can defer on voting in favor of taking a vote on this bylaw, recommended bylaw at all, we can defer it to the next meeting if you wish, or if you're comfortable enough voting now to approve the draft revision, we can do that. What is the pleasure of this board?
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Woodhams.
I'd like to make a motion that the board vote to approve the revised MBTA overlay bylaw as presented this evening, and to make a positive recommendation to a future town meeting, whenever that is scheduled.
I would second that.
Who's that, Joe?
Justin.
Justin, thank you. Motion made by Mr. Woodham, seconded by Mr. Schlesinger to approve and recommend the document that we have before us, draft number 7, revised MBTA Communities Multifamily Overlay District bylaw. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll put it to a vote. Mr. Boissy,
Aye.
Mr. English,
Aye.
Mr. Orban,
Aye.
Mr. Schlesinger,
Aye.
Mr. Woodall,
Aye.
Mr. Woodhams.
Aye.
Chairman votes aye. It's unanimous. Thank you, everybody.